What's a middle finger floating stuck up in the air to see? Fuck you and yourself and everybody, everyone but me. I think I'm all that matters, drinking tea just like the Mad Hatter. Twisted night screams make a twitchy motherfucker matter. Marbles in your mouth, they'll never know what's coming out. Words and verbs just sound absurd, they just lead down to plead the third.
Reasons to hit women. Some people will tell you there's no excuse to hit a woman, but if you use common sense, that's obviously not true.
This is Greg.
We believe that women and men are equal, right? So let's not take part in more hypocrisy than absolutely necessary. Let's say there's a 6-foot person and obviously a very short person, 5 feet 4 inches.
Greg will now attempt to manipulate violence against women, specifically by men for some reason.
Let's say there's a 6-foot person and obviously a very short person, 5 feet 4 inches. Which one is the male and which one's the female? Reality check, it doesn't matter which one's the male and which one's the female. What matters is their size difference.
Greg is now saying if a girl is taller than you, go ahead and hit her.
If there's a crazy person that's bigger than another person, regardless of their gender, the bigger person could do a lot of damage. So if this person here is a man and this person here is a woman, is it okay for the man to fight back? Well, depending on where you live, legally the answer could be yes.
Greg the lawyer knows which states it's legal to hit a girl.
This is me, I'm a banana, and real quick I'm going to give you a history of physical altercations I've had with women. The only girl I ever punched in the face was my sister. I was doing what I considered some important stuff on my computer, and my sister, because she was a terrible person at the time, decided to yank my dial-up phone cord so she could call her boyfriend. Real quick history, my sister beat me up 13 plus times in my past with her fists, and this is important to note, she was bigger than me.
In my professional opinion, there might be a link between old Greg's sister and his hatred of women.
Only this time around I was much closer to her size, thanks to me growing up, and after I beat her up, she realized she could never bully me again. This is why I asked you guys who's the male and who's the female, because size is obviously way more important than gender. You see this tiny person here? That is a kid. See this giant...
So Greg is able to tell the difference between a kid and an adult. Neat.
Giant person I'm drawing right here. That is an adult. The size difference alone equates to the basic logic that this person should never hit this person. As a parent myself, it is completely uncalled for. Speaking of parents, here's me and here's my mom. She was really angry with me one day, so she decided to attack me. But my mom...
Greg is an unbelievable psychopath. This bothers Dr. Business.
But my mom was smaller than me, so what did she do? She grabbed a big old brick-like flashlight and decided to swing that at me. Here's me, here's my mom. I retreated backward to my bed and she smacked me in the knee with that big old brick flashlight. So I pushed my mom away with my feet so she could no longer bash my freaking knee. And later on, guess what she tells my sister's boyfriend? That I
Dr. Business gets it. Greg hit his mom, now he has to justify it.
hit her. So this big old roided out jock who hit her. So this big old roided out jock who plays for my high school football team sits me down and says, "You are abusive." Okay, Mr. Jock, if I'm so abusive, then why was I on my back on a bed pushing a person with a freaking weapon away with my feet, and that's it? It's literally all.
There's no way on earth Greg said any of that to the football player.
What's considered a weapon could be anything you use to attack someone. Like a flashlight that's so big you need a handle to carry it around, which has a giant heavy battery on the inside, about 1/4 the size of a car battery. And then there was the incident of my ex-girlfriend, when I had dumped her recently, and she clearly couldn't accept "I don't like you" as my position towards her. So here I am on one side of the door trying to get it closed enough to latch, but the door is kind of broken, so I'm not having much luck. And here's my ex-girlfriend trying to bash her way into my room, because I guess she thinks that'll fix our...
The first part probably wasn't true. Just a manipulation to explain this next part.
That'll fix our relationship. So my ex-girlfriend is 5'1" and I'm 5'11", right? Obviously, I am way bigger than her. But here's the kicker. At the time, she weighed about 173 pounds. And at the time, I weighed about 168 pounds. Do you know how hard it is to keep someone who weighs the same as, if not more than you, from busting through your door into your bedroom when they have the lower center of gravity? It is super duper hard.
In addition to being a creeper, old Greg is also a gigantic pussy.
Hard. So here's the layout of the area this was all going down in. She was right about here. I'm right about here. She's trying to slam her way into my room when she literally had her own room over here, but she was obsessed with the idea of repairing things with me, so she kept body slamming my door. Finally, I reach out through the crack here in the door, and I push her away from the door so I can close it. She falls to about here. And I know this because I opened back up the door shortly after when she screamed that I was an abuser. There's a door here, there's a door here, here, and here. Her claim is that I pushed her into a door frame. The door frames stick out maybe an inch, so it's not like she clipped a door. And there's no way I could push her into an actual frame, as all these doors were not within range of where she fell.
Greg seems to be manipulating very hard. What is he trying to get out of?
This, I told her I'm calling the cops so they could decide whether or not I'm an abuser. Then they showed up and said, leave him alone. And they suggested to me that in the future I should call before having to push someone away from my door. Long story short, I can't exactly tell you when it is and is not okay to hit a girl. Because Because of variable laws, they change from location to location. I can, however, say that in many areas you have the right to defend yourself, especially if that person's around the same size or could otherwise seriously harm you. But whether we're male or female, we should all do whatever we can to avoid hitting. And if you feel like violence is about to occur, you should dial 911. What I hope I've made clear is that just because a guy hits a girl or a girl hits a guy,
Dr. Business thinks we have had quite enough of that bullshit. And it is never okay. Ever.
So, I made this video. The reason I made it is I just saw the movie Joker, and I noticed some parallels between myself and the Joker, more than any other Joker. I was making fun of the tendency online for people to call me the Joker of YouTube, and then I realized they were basically just shy of something accurate.
Greg, Joker wasn't a true story. The Joker isn't real. It certainly isn't about you.
If you take my past and you mix that with someone who's criminally insane, I could see where you're coming from. Like, I'm the comedian side, the public humiliated side, all that stuff, you know. But I'm a conscientious objector, so I don't think I could just go around, you know, doing what the Joker did in that movie. But it was interesting, and I never had a traumatic brain injury as a child, although I did have a thing where a kid pulled me by the hair off of a church pew, and I smacked my head on the ground and busted my head open.
You'll have to watch this next part without me. Dr. Business is going to go smoke 3/4 of a joint.
You know, there's some similarities there. My father's, a lot of people know about my father, so there's a lot of things there. So the Joker of YouTube, that makes sense. I don't use any medication. I was diagnosed with chronic depression at one point, but I don't use any medication, so... You know, here's the weirdo video I put together. And this whole intro is Patreon only. I just wanted to talk to you guys before I showed you the clip.
That was rough. This is worse.
As a woman, I would like all of you to know that tonight, I feel victimized, okay? Onision has this forum where women can post pictures of themselves and ask Onision for his opinion, okay? The people posting there know that those pictures can be used for a video publicly, okay? So you have girls posting pictures of themselves in their underwear, okay? Like grown women, teenagers. He reviews them all. He doesn't pick on teenagers. He doesn't pick on adults. But the problem is that he includes teenagers in these videos. He says on his website that you're not allowed to post inappropriate pictures, okay? He also says that there's nothing inappropriate about showing the same amount of skin.
Greg is going to tell us how much skin a teenager can show
In his video that you can see at a public swimming pool. But I have a counter argument. Is a man going to be kicked out of a swimming pool if he's just sitting there taking pictures of people? Huh? Tell me that, okay? I mean, technically, these people submitted pictures of themselves and they consented to him using those images, but he's the same as a man who gets in the sex slavery arena, okay? He's the same as a man who rapes people. It's the exact same. Okay? If you tell a 15-year-old in her underwear that she looks healthy,
Are you hearing this bullshit? Are you fucking hearing what this piece of shit is talking about?
that means that you raped her. You're a rapist. Okay? And before, Onision has had all kinds of scandals, you know? People used to say he's a rapist. That didn't work out. You know, it turned out he didn't rape anyone. And they say that he's a physical abuser. Turned out, police reports say he didn't physically abuse anyone. So now he's, of course, a pedophile. Guys, we're hoping that will stick this time. Nothing else works because he's actually innocent of those other things. But this time, we know we have something on this guy. And we're not all just doing this for views. No. This isn't just a bunch of slanderous bullshit.
For your information, Greg, Dr. Business is not doing this for views or ad money. Dr. Dennis Business has done this specifically to come after you.
We're serious, okay? Women who are under 18 should not be allowed to submit photos to other people consensually showing anything less than a burqa. What do you think about that? Every woman under 18 has to wear a burqa, okay? I don't care that you can see the same thing in a swimming pool. Doesn't matter. What matters is I hate Onision, and he's a pedophile, okay? Even though a pedophile is someone who likes prepubescent kids, which he doesn't put in his videos ever, he's a pedophile, okay? And yes, he doesn't necessarily target them like a lot of people say. He definitely targets them, okay? It's implied, okay? Like he's never said, hey, 13-year-olds, submit pictures to me. He doesn't even expect emails from people. He just like literally ignores the emails, ignores the private messages, and literally just uses this public forum. He never technically says that, but it's implied, okay? We know that it is super implied when he reviews people's bodies that he actually secretly is attracted to little boys, okay? So this is my honest blog. I didn't just do this because I'm a fucking lying piece of shit who likes slandering people. I'm doing this because I'm an honest social justice warrior. And you should all know that Onision is a fucking child predator.
Child predator.
Everybody get ready. This might be the worst one ever.
I'm literally just imagining Andy naked right now. Okie dokie. I am wearing boxers. Yeah. It's just, I have such a large that I feel bad. Like it has its own brain, so it like snakes out and tries to attack people when I take my underwear off.
Yeah, I know. This is the dragon egg. Put it in the water.
Yeah, but I want to like embrace it for a second. Ooh. It's like Indiana Jones. Jurassic Park again. I don't even know the theme. I always just do Jurassic Park. I don't know what the theme that is.
Dude, I'm gonna break out.
Wow, look at that, lady. I'm so glad I put it in the water.
Can you wait a second? It's on the inside.
What's on the inside?
Beauty. It's like me. Whenever we got together, you have to wait to realize that it's not boring.
If we're comparing this to you, underneath this white, simple exterior is a gay person. Why is it spinning? That's what I don't understand.
Because it's propelling itself with bubbles and I don't know.
Why do you cuss so much?
Says you. I'm like, hey, I have a question. You're like, what's your question? And I'm like, why are you cussing? And you're like, because it's so hard being right all the time. Verbatim. That is what you say.
Here's the inner beauty, a decayed orange.
So me.
Inner beauty, you guys. Look at the metaphor.
We still look like gay dads.
We are gay dads.
We are gay dads. You heard it here, folks.
Love you, gay dad.
Love you, gay dad. My dream daddy.
You're my dream non-binary person, but Jensen Ackles
Dream
is my
parent.
dream daddy.
I'm so offended.
Jensen Ackles is my dream daddy. You're my dream non-binary.
Leaving.
Gotta be real. See you later, Lainey.
I'm going to make cereal. Good night.
Bathtubs have been ruined for Dr. Business forever. The next one is a real bitch. So in preparation for that,
Thank you very much. I have a new single that's been out maybe 10 days or so. For those of you who have not heard it, I will tell you that it was written and produced by a young man named Lionel Richie of the Commodores, and it's called Lady. Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you. You have made me what I am. I am yours. My love, there's so many ways I want to say I love you. Let me hold you in my arms forevermore. You have gone, made me such a fool. I'm so lost in your love, and oh, we belong together. Won't you believe in my song, lady? For so many years I thought I'd never find you. You have come into my life and made me whole.
Kenny Rogers is such a fucking boss. Final stop. Hold on tight.
Hi, guys.
Hey!
Are you ready to have fun?
Fun with Onision. It's time to have fun.
And it's snowing outside.
There's my neighbor's window. There's his window. Look at the wetlands. I'm a swan.
A lot of crazy people around these parts. Don't want to mess with no crazy people. I'd hate to meet me a crazy person.
Yet. I think I might die of hypothermia out here. Cool.
I hear the police. I hear the police. The police are finally coming. Oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that?
You know what that is? I saw Greg's vagina. I got a mangina. Come on, Greg.
That's a Dr. Dennis business slam dunk right there. Dr. Dennis fucking business, bitch.